Hey, hello.
Hey man, have you seen that on Nando V Movies Patreon? He's talking about possibly doing another fun playlist, but with Game of Thrones instead of Marvel. And I asked if we could make a video for it, and he was kind of coy, but kind of indicated that maybe we should make a video.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah man, this could be what breaks us 4,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Okay, well what should we make a video about?
No, sorry, I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, well, I've watched it all through like once, and I barely remember the earlier seasons.
Okay, just do one from one of the more recent seasons.
Oh, but the latest seasons suck!
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Alright, I'll try to think of something. Do you reckon you could, do another sneeze like you did last time? People loved that sneeze, bro.
I can't just sneeze on command.
Oh, please.
No, look, it was lightning in a bottle. I can't just...
Please, man! Game of Thrones is rarely a show in which you find yourself standing up and clapping. It's more of a show where you find yourself hands over your mouth screaming as your favourite characters are murdered in vain. Sure, sometimes the bad guys die, but a lot of the times these deaths aren't particularly satisfying, and often when things do go right, it'll be a small victory, depicted in a very understated way. Occasionally though, you do get a moment that makes you want to stand up and clap. And one of my favourite examples of this is from Season 7, Episode 7, The Dragon and the Wolf. I know, I'm doing a Season 7 episode, but bear with me. While not necessarily my favourite character in Game of Thrones, one of my favourite character arcs, and one which I don't feel was a victim of the rushed nature of the last couple of seasons, is that of Theon Greyjoy, the once cocky, once sex pest, once downright evil piece of garbage, who really got his act together and started trying to redeem himself after Ramsay, chopped his dick off. And because of this, I feel no scene better emphasises Theon's redemption arc than his one in the Season 7 finale, in which he's trying to convince the remaining Ironborn to save Yara, who Theon had chickened out of saving previously, but he is challenged by Harrig and a fight ensues, which culminates in this moment. He has no balls, bro! What are you gonna do now? Sorry, I should have probably stood up and clapped then to try and illustrate my point better, but if I did stand up, you might have seen my balls. Look, that's the facts of life, I'm sorry. What I love about this moment is that Theon manages to defeat Harrig by using the one advantage he has over his enemy, which is also something that these people had spent the last couple of seasons ridiculing Theon for. If anyone else had been in Theon's position in this fight, they probably would have been down for the count. His weakness was actually the key to his victory, which is emblematic of plenty of fantastic story arcs which appear in loads of different stories outside of Game of Thrones. In the Avengers, Loki can't control Tony Stark because of his arc reactor. Vanellope in Wreck-It Ralph uses her glitched code to save the day. Or the whole thing with Po and Kung Fu Panda being too fat to be affected by Tai Lung's nerve attacks. I mean, this scene with Theon is essentially the same scene as the one in Kung Fu Panda. It's just Theon has no balls but isn't fat, and Po is fat and presumably has balls. Ugh, relatable. Of course, the most famous or classic example of all would probably be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, who uses his once embarrassing glowing nose to save Christmas. Theon is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer if Santa wanted to beat up Rudolph, and Christmas was the long night, and Rudolph had no balls. These moments are so satisfying because what we once thought were weird quirks or deficits of certain characters are now recontextualized. It's the opposite of a deus ex machina because the storytellers are using what we already know about the character in order to drive the story forward. Theon didn't pick up a rock and club Harrig with it. He didn't have some allies hiding further up the beach to swoop in and save the day. Instead, the thing about his character that makes him special is what gave him the opportunity to take the upper hand. I think this scene carries a lot more weight than a simple dick joke, especially considering where Theon has come from. In earlier seasons, he was a creepy monster, fueled by his insatiable sex drive. Now it is his literal emasculation which has become his biggest strength, and the smoking gun which allows him to defeat Harrig, save Yara, and do the right thing. Getting castrated was the best thing that could have happened to Theon. And on a macro level, it's the best thing that could have happened for all the good guys in the show. It's something that for so long was Theon's biggest weakness, but here it becomes his biggest strength. Following Theon's story in the show is one of ups and downs. We're supposed to hate him so much in the beginning, but then, after Ramsay and the torture and the abuse and the brainwashing, he almost begins his character arc anew as a completely broken shell of a man who slowly rediscovers his purpose, defeats his enemies, and redeems his soul. In other words, Theon's journey is one of learning that he has the balls to do what's right. And in the end, wouldn't we all rather have spiritual, metaphorical balls instead of the real ones? Probably not, but in Theon's case, it worked out for the best. Thank you very much for watching this video, if you did, which if you're listening to this, then you probably did. Please be sure to subscribe to Cult Popture. Please be sure to check out some of our other videos. Thank you once again, Nando V Movies, for providing us with what I think is a opportunity. It was unclear from your vague Patreon messages, but hoping for the best.